Well, you guys want to hear about a really crappy situation? So today I plan on giving my black tank, and if you guys don't know what that is, that's the tank that holds all of your pee and poop and all that stuff that comes from the toilet in an RV, right? So I was gonna give it a nice good clean. I try to do this every 2 big times I dump the tank. See, we're staying at a campground right now and it doesn't have sewer access, right? So we have to basically pull a separate tank on the back of our truck all the way down to the dump station, dump it, and usually it takes about 3 times to get a really good clean, because you have your initial dump, you have your secondary dump, which is a little bit more, and then you want to just make sure some nice clear water is coming out of that tank. So I try to do a 3rd dump for those really clean days, right? Well, what I accidentally did, and I've dumped my tank a lot, so I want to chalk it up to a newbie mistake, but I've dumped it too many times. That's not really a newbie mistake, it's just a mistake. There's this thing called a black tank flush, and what it is, it's a hose that comes into your trailer and has a pipe that goes into your black tank, and it's kind of like a sprinkler system. Everybody knows you're not supposed to close your black tank and keep that on at the same time. It's okay to do it for maybe 3 seconds to get enough pressure to kind of push out any clogs you have, but it's nothing you want to do for more than 10 seconds max. Leave it closed. Well, I was running it, trying to get that clean water to come out. I said, you know what, let me go ahead and dump this tank out at the dump station about a mile that way. I closed the black tank, didn't even think about closing the hose. I go and dump the tank at the dump station. I come back, my wife is just going crazy. She's running around, turning off water and stuff like that. Ask her what happens. Black tank exploded. So we are gonna have to try and figure out what the next step is. And I'm about to go talk to the camp host and see if we can move spots, so at least I can get to a clean campground and look underneath my tank, or underneath my RV, and see what's going on. All right, so I talked to the camp host. I can't move campsites because we're about to get filled up here soon. The reason I wanted to at least move campsites was because I could clean underneath my camper, get all that nasty water out, and then I could get up under my trailer and at least assess the damage so I can figure out what needs to be done. This sucks. But what I am gonna do, I'm just gonna pull my camper forward probably about 12 feet, look underneath, and see what I can do. If there's anything I can do, I don't know that there's anything I can do, but it would be amazing? It would be amazing if it was just like a plug and they had this already all figured out, and it was just like a safety switch where it blew a plug instead of blowing up the tank. That would be amazing. I doubt that that's the case, but I'll let you guys know what we got going on. Okay, so I'm gonna try and show you. Basically what's happened is, you probably can't see it, but in between that little gap right there where it's pitch black is the toilet connecting to the black tank. What's happened is the black tank has disconnected from the toilet itself. So the gray tank's not affected. The gray tank's back there. Here's the black tank, and you can see that little dent right there from the pressure. But up in there is where the toilet connects to the black tank. So what I'm gonna have to do is figure out how to connect the two, or if it's even repairable. So update on the situation. We ran into town to grab some lunch, get some milk for the kids, just to kind of get out of the situation for a moment, so that we weren't just sitting in a pile of poo. And the plan now, what's wrong, bud?
I want it to work.
I want it to work too. The plan now, the plan now is to go back to the campsite, finally get up under the RV, and I can tell that it's just, I don't think it's cracked, the actual tank itself. I think just the top is disconnected from the bottom. Now as far as replacing like a seal or a washer or something, or a metal or a plastic thread that maybe has bursted off, I don't know. But that's the goal, is to get under there and then figure it out and at least take a closer look. So the situation we're in now is, I guess it's against the law for a mobile service to come out and to fix anything having to do with your sewer system, because you're like, if that were to spill, technically that's like against the law. You can't spill that kind of stuff. So you have to bring it in. We can't bring it in because we live in this thing full time. So we need to just fix it, and we're just gonna have to fix it, which, you know, we'll just try to get in there and do it. If we can't fix it, and if there's nothing that I can do with any of the supplies I have to get it fixed, one option is to pay a bunch of money to the RV place, drop our RV down there, and they say we can stay in it for a few days. But obviously it's gonna cost a lot more money than trying to fix it yourself. Insurance doesn't cover it because it's my fault, right? So it's not like, I'm not gonna call the insurance and lie and be like, hey, just happened to like fall down. I know that it was my mistake, so we're just gonna try and deal with it, right? So that's where we're at right now. I'll try to get up under the RV, and when my hands are clean, kind of show you what it looks like under there. All right? All right, so here's where we're at now. That pipe right there, that opening, is where the toilet comes through. I was able to salvage that plastic ring, and the only real thing holding this whole tank up is glue that attaches to the black tank, and a few things to hold this. So when I finally pulled the toilet off and took that off, the whole tank kind of just fell. The problem we're having right now is this pipe is a vent pipe that tries to vent out to the roof. So we have to lift this tank up and get it flush, and it's gonna be hard because this is a fixed pipe, so it needs to go straight up. So we're gonna have to try and shimmy or jimmy this thing up so that we can get the opening to the black tank up there, at least get it aligned, get it held up, get the tank held up with a jack and some wood, and then glue the tank back up and then secure the tank. So the hardest part is going to be trying to get this tank flush with this fixed pipe. If we can do that, and I can get this hole aligned to that, I think we'll be in good shape and we'll save a lot of money. So that's what we're going to try to do right now. All right, so here's the deal right now. We got a jack holding up with some wood holding up the tank. The toilet's off, and the problem is there's about an 1.5 inch gap to where I need to be. So here's the piece that was on the black tank. I've got 3-inch pipe that I had laying around, which is perfect. Here's the part of the toilet that's supposed to be threaded into here. What I'm gonna have to do to fix this, because we really have no other options, we can't take our vehicle in, we're just out of options. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to make this work. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this back to the tank. I'm going to cut this down, and then I'm gonna use a coupler to attach, a rubber coupler to attach that to that, which this will be cut down. Then I'm gonna get some more support straps to support the tank, because there's not much supporting that tank under there. So I'm gonna have to run back to Harbor Freight and return it. What I was gonna use, if I could find it, here it is. I just got the wrong size. So this is a 2-inch. I'm going to need a 3-inch coupler to make this all work. So off to Harbor Freight and try to get this fixed tonight. All right, so quick update. We went to Tractor Supply and we got like some rubber couplings. I had 3-inch PVC pipe, luckily, at the RV. Only reason I had 3-inch PVC pipe was from Leviathan Rods shipping me my rods in 3-inch PVC pipe, which is exactly what we needed to get down into the toilet and to fit the gasket and everything. So we really lucked out with that. And the only other store around here was Harbor Freight that kind of had what we need. They didn't sell 3-inch pipe, but they did sell the 3-inch rubber coupling that I'm going to be using to make this repair. what I'm gonna do, which I'm kind of happy in a way that this happened because at least I can secure it myself better. See, these RVs aren't really made, especially the holding tanks, they're so small, right? But heavy at the same time, and they're not made to live in full time. So we always have our black tank like with stuff in it, you know, which you could say, oh, it's made to do, you know, it should hold it, but like it was really made for like a weekend warrior and for somebody that's constantly draining their tanks and stuff and putting it in storage. So I'm kind of glad that at least I'm working on it, because now I'm going to add some straps to reinforce it. I got some strap iron that's made to hold pipe, so I'm going to be putting this underneath the tank and then screwing it into a piece of the frame to just give it that support. So really what you were really relying on, we're in Chick-fil-A drive-thru getting a milkshake because we deserve it. Shannon's working. Really what we were relying on to hold this tank up was a threaded PVC pipe, which in my opinion isn't necessarily enough, which it would have held up for the long haul had I not exploded the tank by keeping the pressure on, so that's why you're not supposed to do that. But I'm fixing it. It's costing me, if I can get this to all work out, which hopefully I can, it's gonna be 45 bucks to fix, which is cheaper than our $100 deductible, which was gonna cost us hundreds of dollars, probably about $400 to $500 to fix through a shop. But we're gonna go ahead and fix it. Lesson learned, if we fix it, right?
Yes, and it's gonna get fixed. It's
gonna get fixed. So I've got to hurry up and do this before the daylight goes away, because we have a 2-night hotel stay that Shannon landed in Augusta, and we just want to get this fixed, get our minds off of it, and have a good time. So all right, so here's what we've done. I put 3 metal straps up, there's a third one over there, into the frame here. It's not touching anything, and this is for sure holding this tank up. So now it's just trying to get everything and all the pipes to fit right in a line and get square inside, put the toilet back on. But just so you can see what I've done, this is what we're doing right here. All right, so the first thing to do is take this seal that used to be on the black tank down there, and to get it sealed back up. That's the first thing we gotta do, so let's do that. Might actually need 2 hands for this. Okay, that's the first thing we gotta do. Let me get that sealed in there and get the other pieces ready. Alright, so inside of this hole, we went ahead and sealed off the original threading, which I just needed that to have a clean entrance into the black tank. What we've done with this contraption here is this top piece right here is what the toilet goes into, and the toilet funnels into here. Because we lost, for some reason we lost about this much space, about an inch, from just a little bit of deformation from the explosion. The black tank kind of deformed just a little bit. It didn't crack, it just kind of sucked itself in. What I've decided to do, just to seal everything up, is take this 3-inch, this is a rubber coupler, and this is now coupling, it's pairing this piece, which the toilet goes into, to this 3-inch PVC pipe, which will go into the black tank. And now this time, if I ever have any issues with anything having to do with the black tank, I can just pull this up. I can just pull this up like this. Sorry for the kid in the background. I can just pull this up like this and just do what I need to do. So when I set this on the floor, we've got about a 1/2 inch. We've got about a 1/2 inch of clearance. So I'm just gonna put some pressure down and go ahead and seal this in, just to make this kind of work like a little bit of a gasket in case any water should come back through. And that's gonna be a done deal. All right, so now we got this all put back together. You can see that the receiver for the toilet, there's a PVC pipe. You can't see the rubber gasket or the rubber coupler because that's on the outside. If I have any issues, just gotta pull these 4 screws right here, pull it out, and deal with it. So in a way, this was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I was able to reinforce the bottom and kind of do this whole project here, which you would say, okay, it's a brand new camper, you shouldn't have to do that. But just with our lifestyle and the way we live and it constantly being filled up, it is nice that everything is nice and secure. So now we're gonna test it, put the toilet on, see if it holds the water, see if there's any leaks, and hopefully it'll be done. Well, sorry for the no shirt. It's just hot and we're tired.
And dirty.
And dirty. Say hi.
Hi. It's so dirty outside and we're at the bar.
So we fixed it. It's more secure than ever. It seems to be working. It's not leaking. The toilet's not leaking. It's working, so we fixed it. Sometimes it's really easy to just get really mad and not learn anything from the situation because you're so upset. But try to learn things when things like this happen. We try to learn things when things like this happen instead of just giving up and getting extremely upset. We learned to take it slow, even when we've done things so many times that, you know, just take it slow, give yourself enough time to dump the tanks, to do things with the RV. Just give yourself time to do it instead of trying to rush it, and just make sure you follow that checklist. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully if you're watching this, you've learned something, and maybe even if you're watching this and you've had a similar experience, let me know what you guys did and how you fixed it. Getting it fixed by a shop was just not an option for us, unfortunately. And you know, I guess we could lie and find a way around it, but at the end of the day it was our fault, so we wanted to fix it and not try and get the shop to lie on our behalf, right? Try not to get the shop to lie on our behalf and get it fixed somehow. It ended up costing about 45 bucks to fix, and now we can just carry on with our life and RV life. And tomorrow we're gonna be in a hotel for 2 days, and Shannon got a gig in a hotel here in Augusta, so we're just gonna have fun and spend some time and relax and use Wi-Fi. So hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.